And let me share my screen. Someone can give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. It'd be awesome. Awesome. Great. Thank you. So thank you, Ahmed, Tara, for inviting me here today. I really appreciate the opportunity to connect with 1 Million Cups communities. I get great feedback, really good questions, and it's building our network that's going to give us the feedback that we need to help Milestonia to grow. So really appreciate your time today. I'm Jennifer Appy. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Milestonia, and our mission really is to help small businesses succeed. We're a small business. We want to see small businesses like ourselves thrive. So I'm here today to get your feedback on our story and our presentation, maybe suggestions for free workshops that can help engage in the conversation, engage us in conversation about Milestonia with small businesses, find out if anyone wants to work with us. And we are still putting companies into the tool to get feedback through the end of March. So if anyone's interested in trying out Milestonia, would love to have you. Okay, so we started Milestonia for ourselves. We found it was tough to keep everyone aligned to their goals, to keep the communication going, and also to engage everyone and create camaraderie. We were alarmed by the statistic that only 31% of employees are engaged at work, and decided that there was something that needed to be done, something that we could do for ourselves. We created Milestonia, and then when the pandemic hit, we realized the culture that we had built around working as a virtual team could actually be useful to other companies as well. And that's when we started to introduce other companies to Milestonia and onboard them into the tool. So we believe that there's urgency. Only 50% of small businesses, or 50% of small businesses fail due to cash flow. And that is just because everybody is constrained, their lofty goals, there's a lot to do, and just not enough time and not enough resource. And then we've read a statistic that says that 90% of companies don't achieve their goals. And that is something that we're hoping to address. So what we've developed is 5 steps to an accountability culture. It starts with gaining clarity around the goals that a company needs to hit in order to thrive, and increasing good communication about those goals. How are people progressing? What do they need? What are some of the dependencies? What are some of the roadblocks? It's also about creating transparency across the company in terms of not only what those goals are and how everyone contributes, but how everyone is doing. And by having that transparency, it creates social accountability. And with Milestonia, we believe it's very important for the entire team to win together. And these are our 5 steps to an accountability culture. It's delivered in the form of a goal management software solution that's simple, easy to use, affordable, all in one, and specifically designed for small teams. And we believe that the most distinctive factor is that we try to make the process fun. So this is what it looks like with a remote team meeting. This is actually one of our case study companies. They're celebrating what everyone's achieved at the end of the week. You can see the completed progress circles that show what everybody has accomplished to date. You can see the points that they've earned and the rewards they've earned to date. And we believe that having these weekly check-in meetings is part of that process that creates that accountability culture, with Milestonia as the foundation to help that communication and good practice to happen. We like to say that we're in the business of engaging future ready teams. We want to align everyone against their goals, but we also want to make it fun. So we've got fun gifts that pop up based on different rules, what people are accomplishing, or if you're checking in at the end of the week, we want to encourage you to report your progress. We also have badges, leaderboards, gifts for completing work, and a clear dashboard that shows everybody where they stand. But most of all, we believe that the process of wrapping it all together in this way makes work more fun. So this is a map of our ecosystem. At the heart of it is a goal management and team engagement SaaS software platform that revolves around the empowered team member. And then we have a basic rules-based coaching and in-app notifications, that will help team members to report progress and get better at that over time. We'll also work with executive coaches, course providers, performance management tools, and rewards and recognition tools as needed, depending on whether organizations already have those or whether they need more in-depth support there. And our software platform is priced at $5 to $10 per user per month. So there is a study that says that high engagement leads to 22% higher productivity and a 20% increase in sales. And we have seen that in our case studies as well. What this means is that it's a pretty big market with opportunity. There are at least 7 million companies in the US that have fewer than 100 employees. And if you look at the 10% of them that generate revenues of over $1 million and can afford our SaaS software solution at about an average of $3,000 a year, that's a $2 billion market. We've also talked about the fact that there is a high need for team engagement and retention. So if you factor in the increase in retention, increase in productivity, and potentially the increase in growth, that's a double or triple digit ROI. So larger companies can afford consultants, IT, they have IT departments to implement new software. They can afford, they have HR departments to manage a lot of these processes. Small companies just can't afford to do all of that. So our solution is specifically designed for the small business. It's uncomplicated, it's easy to set up, and it's simple to use. We'd like to say that we replace the tech stack at an affordable price. If a company doesn't need all of the depth of all of these other tools, Milestonia can kind of serve as a lightweight performance management, project management, CRM, rewards and recognition tool, et cetera. We also integrate with these tools if more horsepower is needed. There are some sales teams that we work with, for example, that really need the horsepower of a CRM. So we will integrate with those as needed, just so that we reduce the amount of information that has to be put into separate tools. We'd like to say that our story is best told in the eyes of our customers. So the first story I like to tell is that of Sam, who has a software company that had been declining 30% year over year. And by using Milestonia to align the team around what needed to happen in order to be able to get to growth, he was able to achieve a 40% year over year revenue growth over 2 years with a reduction in headcount and a positive impact on the bottom line. Our story is also told from the standpoint of James, who had a marketing agency that was doing fine, but he wanted it to grow. So he was able to achieve 30% year-over-year growth with a modest investment, and also achieved a positive impact to the bottom line. So we'd like to say that we're in the business of building better business outcomes, creating accountability cultures that are fun, and helping companies do more with what they have. We're very proud of what team members have said about us, that they are seeing greater productivity in a fun way. We've also seen some benefits from executive coaches who use this for their coaching business, because Milestonia creates clarity for clients around what they need to do, and the coaches see this as a value-added part of their service. We even have a couple families that are using it and saying that it creates a frictionless process with their teens. They can clearly articulate what they're expecting to happen, and then they can see the progress without having to nag. So this is an example of some of the free events and workshops that we've been conducting, and I would really love if anybody has any ideas for workshops or topics that would be of interest to a small business. Definitely open to hearing that. And with that, I'll stop and say thank you for listening to my presentation, and I look forward to your feedback.